In his book, The Secret Teachings of All Ages, Manly Palmer Hall examines the topic of alchemy in some detail. He divides his writings on the theory and practice of alchemy into two parts. Hall notes that the origin of the term alchemy is Egyptian, because the secret art is one of the two oldest sciences known to the land of Chem, an ancient name for the land of Egypt, because it was known as the Black Empire at one time, due to the color of its earth. This is the reason alchemy has long been called the black art, not because it was evil, but because it was perpetually shrouded in secrecy. The other science is astrology. Hall explains that alchemy and astrology were considered to be divinely revealed to man in order that he might strive to regain his lost estate that resulted from his fall from the Garden of Eden. At the time of that fall, man took on coats of skins, or physical bodies, and was promised by an angel at the gate of Eden that when he mastered the mysteries of Kabbalah and alchemy, the curse of the forbidden fruit would be removed from him. Because he brought these sacred sciences into the lower worlds, however, they were considered to be lost. Hall reveals that the earthly body of alchemy is chemistry. Half of the book of Torah is concealed through the veil of Isis, and as long as chemists study only material elements, they will only discover half of the mystery. The veil divides the seen from the unseen, and the only way man can see behind the veil is through the mysteries. The Chaldeans, Phoenicians, Babylonians, and early Oriental races were familiar with the principles of alchemy. It was also practiced in Greece and Rome as well as in the land of ancient Egypt. Hall says one of the most prevalent theories as to the origin of alchemy is that it was revealed to man by the mysterious Egyptian demigod Hermes Trismegistus. In honor of him, all scientific knowledge was called the Hermetic arts. However, Hall notes that the connection between the origin of alchemy and the lost continent of Atlantis is often ignored. In fact, he says the Great Arcanum was a closely guarded secret of the Atlantean priesthood, and when Atlantis sank, the Hierophants brought the sacred knowledge to Egypt, where it remained for centuries in the possession of sages and philosophers who guarded it and preserved it for the modern world. From there, it moved gradually into Europe. During the Middle Ages, it was practiced by those who rebelled against the religious limitations of the church. These sages and philosophers concealed their philosophical teachings under the cover of allegory, the allegory of gold making. This protected them from persecution by the church. Hall says alchemy is a threefold art, and that is why the symbol of a triangle is used. Its symbol is 3 times 3, which stands for 3 elements or processes that occur in 3 worlds or spheres. The 3 worlds are the divine, the human, and the elemental. The number 33, so significant to Freemasonry, is 3 times 3, which is 9. This is the number of emanations from the tree of life, and the number of the esoteric man. Alchemy is not the process of making something out of nothing. Rather, it is about the natural phenomenon of growth, improving and increasing that which already exists. God is described by Hall as the Supreme One, who manifests himself through the process of growth. This growth is a continual process from within to reach outward, and God expresses himself through this growth. To the alchemist, God is in everything. Thus, he is termed the one universal spirit. He manifests himself through an infinite number of forms. Therefore, he is the spiritual seed planted in the dark earth, or the material universe. The seed can grow and expand until the entire universe of substance ultimately becomes like it. In other words, pure gold. Since man is the microcosm of the universe, his spiritual nature may also go through this process of regeneration. In the material body of the elements, this is called transmutation. It follows from this that in the intellectual world also this process can take place. The seed of wisdom exists in man and can be developed. However, Hall notes, man must seek first to find this wisdom. Wisdom can be imparted to an ignorant person, but if that person is not seeking, the seed will neither grow nor bear fruit. However, the seed of wisdom remains within. Hence, the oracle at Delphi proclaimed the importance of know thyself, and ye shall know the universe and the gods. The art of alchemy purports to transmute base metals into gold. Hall says art refers to the process of learning, and base metal symbolizes the mental body of ignorance which must be transmuted into pure gold or wisdom if it is tinctured with understanding. Man's work is to raise his level of consciousness by transmuting his base animal desires, which are represented by the planetary metals, into a pure, golden, and godly consciousness. In this process, man is redeemed and illumined, and as Hall puts it, the manifesting God within that one increased from a tiny spark to a great and glorious being. If also the base metals of mental ignorance can, through proper endeavor and training, be transmuted into transcendent genius and wisdom. This is where the concept as above, so below comes in. Man is the microcosm in the universe. The universe is the macrocosm. If alchemy is possible in the universe, then it can also take place in man. If it can take place in man, it can likewise take place in plants and minerals as well. And this may be applied to everything in the universe. If one thing in the universe grows, then everything in that universe grows. If one can be multiplied, then all things can be multiplied. The image on this slide is taken from a manuscript dated 1577, written by one Samuel Norton, and called Key to Alchemy. The image is titled The Tree of Alchemy, and it shows the leaves of Hermes' sacred tree. Samuel Norton divides the processes or states through which alchemical substances pass from the time they are first placed in the test tube until they are ready as medicines for plants, minerals, or men, and he divides these into 14 parts, which are 1. Solution, the act of passing from a gaseous or solid condition into one of liquidity. 2. Filtration, the mechanical separation of a liquid from the undissolved particles suspended in it. 3. Evaporation, or converting from a liquid or solid state into a vaporous state with the aid of heat. 4. Distillation, an operation by which a volatile liquid may be separated from substances which it holds in solution. 5. Separation, the operation of disuniting or decomposing substances. 6. Rectification, the process of refining or purifying any substance by repeated distillation. 7. Calcination, the conversion into powder or calc by the action of heat, expulsion of the volatile substance from a matter. 8. Commiction, the blending of different ingredients into one compound or mass. 9. Purification through putrefaction, disintegration by spontaneous decomposition, decay by artificial means. 10. Inhibition, the process of holding back or restraining. 11. Fermentation, the conversion of organic substances into new compounds in the presence of a ferment. 12. Fixation, the act or process of ceasing to be a fluid and becoming firm, state of being fixed. 13. Multiplication, the act or process of multiplying or increasing in number, the state of being multiplied. And finally, 14. Projection, the process of transmuting the base metals into gold. Hall also discusses the topic of alchemical symbolism in his chapters on alchemy. He says the alchemical philosophers use the symbols of salt, sulfur, and mercury as representations of the spiritual and invisible principles of God, man, and the universe. The alchemists concealed these true doctrines via the use of allegories and fables. They recognized that the Bible was a book of chemical and alchemical formula, not meant to be taken literally. The scriptures reveal a hidden knowledge when considered allegorically. Dr. Franz Hartmann, in a translation of a work published in 1785, declared that the wives of Solomon represented the arts, the concubines, the sciences, and the virgins, the still unrevealed secrets of nature. By order of the king, the virgins were forced to remove their veils, which signified that by means of wisdom, Solomon, the mystic arts were forced to disclose their hidden parts to the philosopher, while to the uninitiated world, only the outside garments were visible. Such is the mystery of the veil of Isis. Hall says it is said in the Bible that, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. This means, Hall says, that in alchemy, without putrefaction, the great work cannot be accomplished. In classifying the processes through which the chemical elements must pass before the Hermetic medicine is produced, Hall notes there's a lack of uniformity in terminology in various sources. In The True Way of Nature, Hermes Trismegistus lists 7 stages, while other sources list 12 or 14, such as the example given above. The Mytho-Hermetic Dictionary, written in 1758, lists 12 stages and links each with the signs of the zodiac. Stage 1 of calcination is linked with Aries. Stage 2, congelation, Taurus. Stage 3, fixation, is linked with Gemini. Stage 4, dissolution, with Cancer. Stage 5, digestion, with Leo. Stage 6, distillation, with Virgo. Stage 7, sublimation, is linked with Libra. Stage 8, separation, with Scorpio. Stage 9, incineration, linked with Sagittarius. Stage 10, fermentation, linked with Capricorn. 11, multiplication, linked with Aquarius. And 12, projection, linked with Pisces. These 12 steps, we are told, lead to the accomplishment of the magnum opus and are a reminder of the 12 degrees of the ancient Rosicrucian mysteries. According to the mysteries, man was redeemed as a result of his passage in rotation through the 12 mansions of the heavens. The formula utilized, however, cannot be successfully conducted unless the one who performs them himself is a magus. Hall reminds us that of 2 people, one an initiate and the other not schooled in the art of alchemy, working side by side, even if they use the same vessels, substances, and methods, will not achieve the same results. The initiate would produce his gold, but the uninitiated would not. Unless the greater alchemy has first taken place within the soul of man, he cannot perform the art. This is the meaning of unless a man is born again, he cannot accomplish the great work. The mystery which is concerned with the secret life principle within the actual nature of man is a forbidden topic for the initiate to discuss with the uninitiated. The masters of alchemy have decreed that this secret must be discovered by each individual for himself.